chocolate is one of the most loved treats in the world. Just one bite can make you feel happy, calm, and excited all at once. But have you ever wondered how your favorite chocolate bar is actually made? From tiny beans growing deep in the jungle to smooth, sweet bars packed in colorful wrappers. The journey of chocolate is long, hard, and kinda magical. Today, we're going behind the scenes to find out how chocolate bars are really made inside huge, high-tech factories. So get ready for a sweet adventure as we unwrap the truth about chocolate bar factories. Chapter 1: The story begins with a bean. The story of chocolate starts with a special tree called the cacao tree. This tree only grows in warm, tropical places like South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Instead of growing fruits like apples or bananas, the cacao tree grows big pods right on its trunk. Inside each pod are about 30 to 40 seeds. These seeds are called cacaobeans, and they're the main ingredient in chocolate. Farmers have to wait about 5 months for the pods to grow and ripen. When they turn bright yellow or red, it's time to harvest. But this isn't an easy job. The pods don't fall off on their own, and machines can't pick them. So, farmers do it by hand, using sharp knives to cut each pod from the tree, one by one under the hot sun. Chapter 2: What's inside the pod? After harvesting, farmers open each cacao pod using a knife or machete. The inside looks nothing like chocolate. The beans are covered in white, juicy pulp. This pulp is sweet and tangy, kind of like a mix of lemon and mango. Even though the pulp is tasty, the real prize is the beans. These beans are collected and placed into wooden boxes or big piles, then covered with banana leaves. This starts a very important process called fermentation. Fermentation lasts about a week. During this time, the beans change color, lose some bitterness, and start to smell more like real chocolate. Without this step, chocolate wouldn't taste sweet and smooth. It would be bitter and plain. Chapter 3: Time to dry. Once fermentation is done, the beans are spread out in the sun to dry. Workers stir them every 30 minutes to make sure they dry evenly. This step removes water from the beans and keeps them from going bad later. Drying takes about 10 days. After that, the beans are packed into big sacks, weighed, and shipped to chocolate factories all around the world. And that's when the real magic begins. Chapter 4: Welcome to the chocolate factory. Once the dried cacao beans reach the chocolate factory, they are ready to be cleaned and sorted. First, the beans are poured onto a special floor with tiny channels that carry them to machines. These machines remove any sticks, stones, or broken pieces that don't belong. Next, the beans go into large roasting machines. Roasting brings out the strong chocolate smell and helps improve the taste. Some beans are roasted lightly for a fruity flavor, while others are roasted longer for a deep, rich flavor. After roasting, workers take samples and cut the beans open to check the inside. If the bean has a nice brown or light pink color, it means it was roasted and fermented well. If it looks purple, it might still taste too sour or bitter. Chapter 5: Cracking and grinding. After the quality check, it's time to crack the beans open. This separates the hard outer shell from the good part inside, called the cacao nib. The shells are blown away by a vacuum, and only the nibs move on to the next step. Now comes grinding. The cacao nibs are crushed into a thick brown paste called cacao liquor. It may sound like a drink, but it's just chocolate in its liquid form, made of cocoa solids and cocoa butter. The cacao liquor then goes into a big machine that presses it hard. This separates the cocoa butter from the dry cocoa solids. The cocoa solids are used to make cocoa powder, and the cocoa butter helps make smooth chocolate. Chapter 6: Mixing it all together. Now it's time to make the chocolate mixture. The cocoa powder is mixed with cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder for milk chocolate. The ingredients are blended in a big mixer with a lot of heat and spinning. This turns everything into a soft, shiny chocolate paste. But we're not done yet. The mixture still needs to be smoother. That's where a special machine called a conching comes in. This machine stirs and heats the chocolate for hours, sometimes for days, to make it taste just right. Conching helps remove any sour flavors and makes the chocolate feel smooth in your mouth. Good chocolate is conched longer. That's why fancy chocolate melts nicely and doesn't feel grainy or rough when you eat it. Chapter 7. Cool shapes and sweet smells. Once the chocolate is smooth and ready, it's poured into molds. These molds come in many shapes and sizes, like bars, hearts, or even little coins. A machine fills each mold with the perfect amount of chocolate, then scrapes off the extra so the surface is flat and clean. The molds then move into a long, cooling tunnel. Cold air helps the chocolate harden and get its final shape. It takes just the right amount of time and temperature to keep the chocolate from cracking or melting later. Chapter 8. Popping out and wrapping up. After cooling, the chocolate is hard and shiny, but it's still inside the mold. So now comes the fun part, getting it out. A special machine gently twists the mold, just enough to pop the chocolate out without breaking it. These machines are designed to be careful but fast, so thousands of chocolate bars can be made every hour. Once the bars are out, they go straight to the packaging line. Here, another machine wraps each chocolate bar in foil to keep it fresh and safe from moisture or air. Then, a second layer, the colorful wrapper you see in stores, is added on top. Some factories even use robots to place the bars into boxes, stacking them neatly, ready to be shipped all over the world. Chapter 9. So many tests. Before the chocolate bars are sent out, they go through a lot of tests. Some are checked by machines and some are checked by real people, trained chocolate experts. They test for smoothness, size, shape, color, and even taste. Did you know that a single chocolate bar can go through over 70 different tests before it's sold? All of this helps make sure that when you open a chocolate bar, it's perfect every time. If a bar doesn't pass the test, maybe it cracked or isn't smooth, it doesn't go to waste. Many factories melt it down and try again. Chapter 10. Ready for the world. Once the chocolate bars pass all the tests, they are packed into large boxes, sealed, and moved onto trucks. These trucks drive to stores, supermarkets, and candy shops around the country, and sometimes even across the world. By the time you see that shiny wrapper sitting on a shelf, it has already gone through months of growing, weeks of drying, hours of roasting, and minutes of mixing, molding, and cooling. It's more than a treat. It's the result of science, farming, teamwork, and care. The sweet finish. So the next time you bite into a chocolate bar, remember the journey it went on. From a tropical tree to your hands. It took farmers, machines, experts, and time to make something so small, but so full of joy. And now we want to know, what's your favorite type of chocolate? Dark, milk, white, or maybe something with caramel or nuts? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you learned something new, share it with a chocolate lover, and subscribe to the channel for more sweet stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Food Confections.